In this, we are going to start our next topic, that is transportation in plants. Transportation in plants. So when we talk about the transportation in plants, what are the materials need to be transported? So the materials, what are the materials are there? One is water and mineral nutrients and organic nutrients. Organic nutrients means food. Mineral nutrients means ions. And plant growth regulators. So in transportation in plants, what are the things? Root absorb the water and ions, they are going to be transported where they are required, and leaves prepare the food materials, they are going to be transported throughout the plant body, and plant growth regulators, they are prepared. For example, axons are there, they somewhere they are there, but they are going to be transported where they are required. So how these all the materials are going to be transported in the plants? How the transportation takes place of the food materials are this mineral nutrients and organic nutrients and plant growth regulators. So that we are going to discuss in this chapter. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about the transportation, three topics, that is transportation across the membrane. How the materials are going to be come inside the how they cross the membrane, what are the process, whether they actively transported or passively transported, whether they are that is a diffusion or osmosis or facilitated diffusion, that we are going to discuss how they are across the membrane. And plant water relationship, plant water relations, and for long distances, how they are going to be long distance transportation, how the materials are going to be transported in tall plants, and that we are going to, these are the three topics, three main subheadings we are going to discuss. So how they cross the membrane, how they are going to be transported in the long distance. So if we say the short distance means what? Within the cell there is a need to materials to be, one material is suppose here, it has to be transported somewhere here. So how they are going to be transported? By the simple diffusion, we know that. So how the materials are going to be transported within the cell? So within the cell they are by the process of simple diffusion. And second process is that cytoplasmic streaming. So that is the cytoplasmic streaming, movement of the cytoplasm, which helps the transportation of materials. So in the short distance within the cell, they are going to be transported by the method of diffusion, or due to the cytoplasmic streaming, they are going to be transported. When we talk about long distance, so in the long distance there is a specialized tissues are there in the plants. So those specialized systems are known as vascular system. So we know that xylem, phloem, they are called as the vascular system. So xylem transports the water and ions, minerals, whereas phloem transport the food materials. So transportation of materials through the transportation of materials through xylem and phloem for long distance are known as translocation. Translocation. What is translocation? Transportation of materials through the simple xylem and phloem. So here what we are talking, so when within the short distance, in the short distance, the materials are by the diffusion process or cytoplasmic streaming, they are going to be transported. When we talk about the long distances, there is a special system is there, vascular system, which is comprised of xylem and phloem, that helps the transportation. So that is transportation of materials for long distance through the xylem and phloem is known as translocation. So means of transportation, how they are going to be transported. So they are transported through the passive means of transportation. Means of transportation. There are two methods are there. One is passive transport and active transport. Passive transport and second is active transport. Passive transport means without using energy. Energy, what is the energy in cell? ATP. Without ATP, the transportation takes place in the cells. So without using energy, the transportation takes place in the cells. That is known as passive transportation. So by the using ATP, by using ATP, whenever the energy is used, that is active transport. By spending money, we are going to be transported. That is active transportation. Whereas in the passive transportation takes place from low concentration to high concentration. So wherever the concentration is more, from that concentration to they come to the low concentration without using ATP. Whereas in the active transportation, against to concentration gradient, against to concentration gradient, simple, that is opposite to this, means low concentration to they move to high concentration. So for example, our root requires a specific ions, some ions they require ions, so which are present in very low ions, low concentration is there, low concentration of ions are there, but our plant require those ions. So what it will do, if the ions are more, simply by the diffusion process they moves into the plant body. But when they are low concentration, but our plant require those materials, at that time our plant will, by spending the ATPs, by actively transports, because it requires, by spending energy, it will take these ions into the plant body. So that is active transportation. Active transportation means by spending the energy, by utilizing ATP, we are going to transport the materials which are required for the plant. And this is not affected by the diffusion, is not going to be affected by inhibitors. Inhibitors are temperature and inhibitors means which suppress the reaction, which inhibit the reaction. So this is going to be, our active transportation is going to be inhibit, it is going to be affected by the temperature, effect of temperature is going to be affect. Whenever temperature is increased, so the proteins may denatured, that is the reason they may be the process is going to be affected. And inhibitors means which can stop the process, which can stop the process, those are inhibitors. So it is here in the means of transportation there are two types of transportation process are there. One is passive, active. So we have to remember active means with using ATP, passive transportation without using energy, high concentration to low concentration, whereas in the active transportation low concentration to high concentration, so against to concentration, here we are using the ATP. So in this passive transportation we are going to discuss, one is diffusion and facilitated diffusion and osmosis process. Three process we are going to discuss. First we will discuss the diffusion. The first process is diffusion. So we know that the diffusion process, it is common in gases and liquids. It is so common in gases and liquids. Diffusion. So movement of solute particles, movement of solute particle. Diffusion definition: movement of solute particle from high concentration to low concentration. Movement of solute particles from high concentration to low concentration. So high concentration to low concentration till they reach equilibrium. So how much time they will going on, this diffusion takes place till they reach equilibrium. So we know that this is passive transport. Passive transport means no ATP, without using energy. So our cell is going to be transported. How it is? For example, leaf is there, we know that stomata is there, carbon dioxide outside, carbon dioxide concentration is more. So here what is there? High concentration of carbon dioxide, and in the leaf it is low concentration. Simply from high concentration to, by the diffusion method, this carbon dioxide enters into the plants. What is happening? From high concentration to low concentration, movement of solute particles is taken place, and without, there is no no ATPs are required. We are not spending any ATPs, and they move randomly. So in the diffusion the particles moves randomly, so they move randomly, and it's a very slow process. Compared to other process, it's a slow process, and it is common in liquids and gases. Liquids and gases. So for example, somewhere something is burned in somewhere in our neighbor's house, we will get that smell after some times. So that is the diffusion. Somebody open the scent bottle, after some time the total room will get that smell. So that is called diffusion. So sometimes so all these are the common process. Diffusion is a very very common process. And what is happening in this high concentration to low concentration, it is not taking place in the, it is not at all required the living system. living system is not required. So it is happening in the outside, just environment, living system, not is happening in the living system. So if you take the cell, if you take cell, so cell oxygen is there. So here the plasma membrane and all the contents will be there. So whenever the cell requires the oxygen or gases, they simply take this high concentration to low concentration by the simple diffusion method. Within the cell also the gas exchange takes place through the this diffusion method only. So what is diffusion? Movement of solute particles from the high concentration to low concentration. This is a passive transportation without using of energy. In this they move randomly. It is a slow process, and it is common in liquids and gases. So when we increase the temperature, is there any factors are there affect this diffusion? So factors affect diffusion. So if you increase the temperature, if you increase the temperature, for example, you want to dissolve something. Dissolving process is nothing but diffusion. So if you want to dissolve sugar quickly in the water, what you will do? Simply you will heat it. So you will heat that. So it will be dissolved easily. So what is that? Diffusion rate is high. If you increase the temperature, rate of diffusion is increased. And then concentration of gradient. If the concentration is increased, then also the rate of diffusion is high. If the concentration is increased, diffusion rate is also high. Diffusion is going to be high. And then the surface area. If the surface area is more, the rate of diffusion is high. With there is in our lungs, we know that in lungs alveoli is there. Alveoli which is spread up to 100 meters. So it increases the surface area to absorb for more gas exchange. So more gases exchange, more diffusion takes place when the surface area is more. So when surface area is more, diffusion rate is also increased. And then this diffusion is so these are the factors. So temperature, concentration of gradient and surface area. And so lipids diffuse more rate than the others. So lipids diffuse fastly because the plasma membrane is made up with phospholipids. So lipids generally they diffuse fastly. Okay, this is about diffusion. So diffusion is a simplest process. It is a slow process. In this, so from high concentration to low concentration, particles are moving. So without it is not without irrespective of living system, it is happening. And so it is a slow process where in this process there is no requirement of energy. Without using energy, so particles move from high concentration to low concentration, that is diffusion. But when we talk about so another process is there. Some materials are not going to be allowed. All the materials are not allowed by the cell. So some materials are going to be stopped because of plasma membrane nature, that is a selective permeable membrane nature. So how those materials are going to be transported. That we are going to discuss in the facilitated diffusion. Second type of diffusion is facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion. In this, some substances have to be, before this we must know about the plasma membrane nature. So we know that the nature of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is made up of with phospholipids. It is made up of with phospholipids. So lipids are having, this is head and tail. We know that structure of lipids, head is hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic means which takes the water. Tail is lipophilic. Hydrophobic means which not allow the water. Hydrophilic means accept the water. So this is the structure of, so in this we know that plasma membrane is bipolar in nature. So it is made up of with phospholipids. So these phospholipids so this is plasma membrane. If whenever the any materials are simple materials, by the simple diffusion gases exchange takes place. Gas exchange takes place through these materials. Any simple substances, they can easily, simple substances, they easily move inside the cell. This is inside the cell. So they can easily cross this plasma membrane. But only we said that lipid diffusion rate is faster than the other, because the nature of plasma membrane is made up of with lipids. So they are easily allow the lipids. But some substances which are hydrophilic, they are, which are hydrophilic nature, they are difficult to pass through the plasma membrane. Hydrophilic nature. So here what happened, plasma membrane is there. So whatever the materials are coming, whatever the whether it is a active transportation or a passive transportation, so whenever the material wants to come inside, they must cross this plasma membrane. But plasma membrane allows only some materials, very small materials which can pass through this membrane, they are allowed. But some substances are not allowed. Which are they? They are hydrophilic. Hydrophilic substances are hydrophilic in nature substances, they are not going to be allowed. So they are, to move those processes into the cell, there are some special proteins are provided in the plasma membrane to facilitate their diffusion. That we call as facilitated diffusion. What is the facilitated diffusion? Some special types of proteins are there in the plasma membrane. They are allowing some proteins, they are taking some proteins inside the cell. Okay, they are taking the proteins. Because why some proteins are behaving like that? Because plasma membrane is not allowing. So here facilitated diffusion. What is facilitated diffusion? In this, some proteins are there in the plasma membrane. They facilitate the diffusion of some materials. So they facilitate the diffusion of some materials. That is called facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is a passive one. Means no ATP, not require of any ATP. So in the plasma membrane, we have some special proteins to carry these substances. Some are channel proteins, some are carrier proteins. In plasma membrane, we have two types of proteins. One is channel proteins, channel proteins and carrier proteins, carrier proteins. So this is plasma membrane. So some channel proteins are there. So this is channel protein. So this protein, what it will do, it allows only certain materials. For example, glucose is there, glucose. So glucose want to come inside. So some proteins are acting as a channels, acting as a ways to carry the materials inside the cell. So they are carried through this specific, because they are the large molecule which cannot pass through this membrane. So these materials cannot pass through the plasma membrane. So that is the reason some special channel should be there, some special proteins are there. They are without spending energy. Simply this protein, what it is doing, it is facilitating the, it is by simple facilitated diffusion it is coming inside. Okay, so some protein channels are, these are the specific substance specific. So they can carry only glucose. If another molecule is there, fructose is there, it won't allow the fructose. It is substance specific. So some special substance pass through the special proteins only. So specific to substance. And it is also affected by the inhibitors also. Affected by inhibitors. If any inhibitors may come and join to this, inhibitors may come and join, then this is not allow the glucose. So this won't allow the glucose to pass through it. So some special proteins are there in the plasma membrane. So they are known as channel proteins. They are allowing the some special proteins to pass into the inside. And these carrier proteins are, they may be porins. They are porins and aquaporins. Aquaporins. Porins are the huge pores. They are the big pores. So they are the big pores present in the huge pores. This is very important. Porins, huge pores present in bacteria, some bacteria, plastids, mitochondria, to allow specific, to allow the proteins, So to pass the proteins, some pores like structures. Pores means some proteins are there. So they allow the proteins to move through it. And aquaporins, some water channels also there. These are the water channels. Aquaporins are water channels, because water is not allowed, because they are this is hydrophilic, but tails are hydrophobic in nature. So they won't allow the water. So to move the water, there are special channels are there. They are known as aquaporins. These aquaporins, water channels, these water channels are made up of with aquaproteins. Aquaporins which are 8. So water channels also there. To move the water channels are there. So to move water transportation, for water transportation we have the water channels. They are known as aquaporins, which are comprised of 8 aquaporins, and porins also there. Porins are the huge pores which are present in the plastids, mitochondria and bacteria, which allows the proteins. This is about facilitated diffusion. What is happening in the facilitated diffusion? So it is a special type of diffusion, and in this some special proteins help for the substances to move across the plasma membrane. These some special proteins are helping to move the proteins across the membrane without using ATP, without expenditure of energy. Some substances which are hydrophilic in nature, they cannot pass through this plasma membrane. They are going to be facilitated by these some proteins. Those are called facilitated. They are present in the plasma membrane. They allow the proteins to pass through it. So they allow the movement of proteins. So that is called facilitated diffusion. So this facilitated diffusion may be uniport. This may be uniport, means materials may come only one side. If a material is there, it allows, uniport means it allows only one way direction, unidirectional transportation. Antiport, this is antiport. Best example is sodium potassium pumps. In this, so whenever the sodium is released outside, then the potassium is going to be accepted. So means in antiport, what is happening? One is coming outside and one is moving inside through the protein channels only. So this is the protein which is allowing unidirectional, only one material, it is allowing the one materials to pass through it. Whereas another symport, another type of transportation, that is symport. In this, at a time two materials they are going to be entered. So this is happen when amino acids are going to be absorbed in our small intestine. They are absorbed along with the amino acids, along with the sodium. Both they are going to be absorbed. If one is not there, another is not going to be transported. So if two materials are there, then only they are going to be transported. Their transportation takes place. So that is called symport. So in the symport, what is happening? Two materials they are moving in one direction. Means in the absence of one material, another material is not going to be accepted by the cell. If it is necessary also, it is not going to be accepted. That is symport. Antiport, one material is coming out and one is accepted. And uniport, only one direction. It allows only one movement of one direction only. Okay, that is uniport. So this is about facilitated diffusion. So in this facilitated diffusion is a process from high concentration to low concentration, particles are transported. Whereas in the facilitated diffusion, across the membrane, some materials are transported through the special proteins are there. So they may be porins or they may be carrier proteins, aquaporins or porins. So and some protein channels are there. They allow the specific proteins to inside the membranes. So that is facilitated diffusion. So it is a special type of diffusion where it helps the proteins to protein substances. So in this, some proteins help the substances to move across the membrane without expenditure of energy. This is also type of passive transportation. Okay. So and one more best example is that in our body, so that is transportation of glucose and amino acids from the bloodstream. What is the transportation of amino acids and glucose and amino acids from blood stream, from the blood to cell. When these material, when glucose and amino acids, when they are present in the blood, they are going to be absorbed by the cell. When they come to the cell by the process of facilitated diffusion. So these, so same here, the to allow the glucose, there is special channel is there, that is glucose transporter, glucose transporter, glucose transporter. And for amino acids, there is a permeases, amino acid permeases, amino acid permeases, permeases are there. So to accept these glucose and amino acids to the into the cell, so they cannot pass through the membrane because they are the large molecule. They are through the facilitated diffusion, they enter into the cell. So glucose moves through the glucose transporter, that is a protein, and this amino acid moves through the amino acid permeases. This is the example for facilitated diffusion. Thank you.